I'm driver, 737NG driver, and you guys are all very welcome to this video and to the BD-5, the world's smallest jet aeroplane, having an empty weight of about 160 kilograms and a max takeoff weight in the region of just about 400 kilograms. We saw this airplane appear in the James Bond movie Octopussy, and I can tell you this is a great lot of fun to fly if you just want to relax a little. So I've had a hard day, got myself some new streaming equipment which you are going to experience for the first time on this video. So I've got a new microphone, got a new headset, and I still got to fiddle a little bit with the settings, but we're getting there, slowly but steadily. Anyway, I've tried to record a couple of videos today and my simulator kept giving up on me. It either crashed to desktop, or when I was still using my old headset, my microphone got into that strange noise again, so I've had a frustrating day. And what else could there be to relax a little bit than loading up an aircraft at an airport that you're familiar with, in an area that you're familiar with, and just taking it out a little bit for a small sightseeing flight. Now, things would be too easy if we were just to go for sightseeing, of course, you know me. So the challenge today is to fly this as fast as possible and not take the aircraft out of toga. And of course I've chosen a rather complicated airspace structure around, and we are not going to have any GPS or anything else than our sectional chart. So here's the plan for today. Today we've got our Düsseldorf Monday VATSIM event, so we'll take off from Smulin Airport, just over here, fly towards reporting point November, cross the Düsseldorf CTR towards Sierra, then through the Cologne CTR via the Kilo routing, beam the field and the Sierra routing, then we'll go down to the Drachenfelds, or Dragon's Rock so to say, make a turn around that, return via the Sierra to the November routing, via the Echo routing through the Düsseldorf airspace and back into Smulin. I expect this overall to take maybe 25 minutes-ish, of course providing that air traffic control in Düsseldorf is going to be able to accommodate us. So that's about the plan for today. Let's get rid of that chart again and let's hop into the airplane. The BD-5 is actually very fun little plane, but it's basic. If you want to try this out, there is a freeware BD-5 available on flightsim.to, just like there is a payware one on SM Market. I'm using the payware one here, just because the model is looking a little bit nicer. Alright, so as said, today is really gonna be just for fun. Doesn't that canopy, master on, ignition on, fuel valve on, strobe light on, clear on the left, and we're clear on the right, starting the engine. Plane doesn't have a park and brake, by the way, so we've just gotta hold the brake manually here. Alright, it's slowly starting up. We've got fuel flow, all pressure is coming, all temperatures rising as well. We're looking for an idle and one of approximately 30 to 40%. This, by the way, is the smallest jet engine in the world, weighing just 34 kilograms. And you'll be surprised what we can get out of this one. Alright, we've got a good engine start. Avionics on. Looking for a field elevation of about 420 over here. That's gonna do. For the frequencies, we'll have 22.8 Unicom for our departure, and then we'll have 18.3 Düsseldorf Tower for the control zone crossing. Alrighty. Squawk 7000, that's the avionics set. Alright, we're good to go. Won't need BFB anymore, as said, we're doing this all visually. Right. So, there is no ATC online on Smulin, so off we go on Unicom. As Smulin traffic, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, taxi to holding point, runway 24. We're clear on the left. Got an airship in the traffic pattern over here, doing sightseeing flights, so we've just got to make sure that we're actually getting around that one. It's a funny little airplane, like you can feel how the engine is not the strongest, but on the other hand side, once you are flying, it is giving you some very nice air speeds. So let's just make sure that we are actually getting along well with this airplane. Alright, so while we're taxiing to the runway, let's do a departure briefing. We're gonna rotate at 75 knots and the climb speed is between 100 and 120. We've got a right-hand traffic pattern up to 1,400 feet and class Charlie airspace starts at 1,500 feet. Later on, once we have left the pattern to the north and once we are past the 4 big houses, we can climb up to 2,000 feet with a Charlie airspace at 2,500 feet. We've got to call Düsseldorf Tower as soon as we have left our CTR, or rather as soon as we've left our traffic pattern, as we're really close to the reporting point already. So that basically concludes the briefing. For the emergencies then, we're not gonna do an immediate turn back below traffic pattern altitude, and we are not gonna try to abort the takeoff once we're airborne. In case we have an engine failure after landing and we need, after takeoff and we need to land straight ahead, there are fields just to the front. To the right there's the city, to the left there's a bridge that we don't want to go into. Right then. That is basically a briefing completed. Put the nav lights on as well, it's rather late already. Alright, here we go. As we land traffic, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, takeoff runway 24. Oh, there is actually traffic over there. Is he in our pattern or is he elsewhere? He looks like he is in our pattern actually. But he might as well be approaching Düsseldorf. Now that looks like an airliner. That guy's gotta be approaching Düsseldorf, not as Smulin. Right then, off we go. And takeoff. Takeoff just set. $60 knots. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. So there's the graveyard that you can see just off the right hand side of the panel here. That's basically where the traffic pattern is taking us. Then from here, level off at 1400. Flaps are up. Fuel pumps off. Let's call tower.
About to vacate, wind 010 degrees, 3 knots, runway 23 right, clear to land. 23 right, clear to land, just in Thrustmaster.
And not above 1500 we said. Düsseldorf tower low, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra.
Blocked. Ewings 226, line up runway 23 left, and wait.
Start up and wait on way to 3 left to your wing.
Let's turn our cabin lights here. Clear the Charlie airspace. Düsseldorf tower low, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra.
Delta Mike Oscar, correction, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, Düsseldorf tower, good evening.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, BD-5 from Essen Mülheim, one person, local VFR flight request, crossing control zone from November to Sierra.
The Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, active runway 23 right and 23 left, when H1019er, enter the control zone via November.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, active runway 23 left right, entering control zone via November. Right, November is that bridge that you can see just over there.
Lufthansa 5 Mike Tango, welcome to Düsseldorf, continue taxi and hold short of runway 23 left.
So let's pull that sectional up. Now you can see where we're going.
Proceeding traffic is just about to vacate, wind 010 degrees, 3 knots, runway 23 right,
you can see how we're going there. So that's November, that's the bridge just in front of us there.
Austin 2643, hello, good evening.
Okay, not above 2500, that's
Austin 2643, Düsseldorf tower, good evening, wind 010 degrees, 3 knots, number 2.
Number 2.
So 2300, that's where we want to be.
Austin 2643.
Okay, that's the airport over there.
Keep the 212, cross runway 23 left on the other side, vacate via Lima 7 and contact ground 121.9er.
And here we go, over the bridge.
Lima 7, contact ground 121.9er. Bye bye. Lufthansa 5 Mike Tango, cross runway 23 left on the other side, contact ground 121.9er. Goodbye.
Cross 23 left and on the other side 121.9 out of front.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, over at November, 2,400 feet.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, roger, enter the control zone via the November route.
Entering via the November route, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra. So that's basically going from November straight towards the field. Hope we won't have to wait too long for our midfield crossing.
India 9er, welcome to Düsseldorf, continue taxi and hold short of runway 23 left.
You can see the BD-5 gives us really nice speed here, 225 knots indicated.
Austin 2643, traffic
That's kind of
information on
making
departing
the
Airbus
navigation
A320 on runway
more
23 left.
challenging. Okay, so we see an aircraft just on final over there.
And Austin 2643, wind 010 degrees, 3 knots, runway 23 right, clear to land.
Clear to land on 23 right, Austin 2643.
Ewings 226, wind 010 degrees,
Let's
3
hope
knots,
that we can
runway 23
actually
left,
get
clear for takeoff, have a nice flight, bye bye.
Clearance before we reach the field.
Ewings 226, danke schön, ciao.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, traffic information, Airbus A320 short on final runway 23 right, report traffic inside.
Delta Papa Sierra inside.
Delta Papa Sierra, roger, behind mentioned traffic, cross the runway 23 right and left over the thresholds and leave the control zone via Sierra.
Delta Papa Sierra behind the traffic, crossing over the thresholds and leave by Sierra. Right, so there is our traffic, so we are crossing behind.
Düsseldorf Tower, Condor 115, Lima 2.
Condor 115, Düsseldorf Tower, good evening.
Alright, that's the Condor down there, the guys that are just calling. Alright, and we're past the field, so now we're turning off to the right.
Bravo Whiskey, line up runway 23
harbour
left
over there. That's the harbour of Düsseldorf.
Runway 23 left, Lufthansa 2 Bravo Whiskey.
Genex 61 Juliet, cross runway 23 left on the other side, vacate via Lima 7 and contact
So that's where our routing is going over. And once we're past the harbor, we're gonna turn southbound. You can see this bend in the river over here, and there's a small lake next to it. That's where reporting point Sierra is.
61 Juliet, correction 121.6.
121.6, 61 Juliet.
Also to 643 located Kilo 3.
Yeah, Auckland 2643, welcome to Düsseldorf, continue taking out of runway 23 left.
There's the traffic. Let's make sure that we don't actually get into
Wings 226 Düsseldorf
their
town.
way. And here's Düsseldorf. Those are some really nice hills close to the right over here. That's a great place to spend your time.
Alright, 1731,
Especially when you have temperatures like we do today at 36
runway
degrees
23 right,
centigrade over here.
1731.
Alright then. There is a bridge over here that was
traffic information 1 departing, I was A320 Neo on runway
not very
23
well shown in the simulator, but you can sort of see it over here.
Lufthansa 2 Bravo
That's where we
wind
start
010 degrees 3 knots, runway 23 left, clear for takeoff, have a nice flight, bye bye.
Runway 23 left, cleared for takeoff, Lufthansa 2 Bravo Whiskey.
Alright, here we go.
Condor 115, behind departing Airbus A320 Neo, line up runway 23 left and wait behind.
Man, busy over here.
A320 will line up and wait.
That's how it's fun, isn't it?
Connor 115.
And India Niner, behind departing Airbus A320 Neo, company Lufthansa, cross runway 23 left. On the other side, contact
I have to say, for
1
microlight, effectively that's what it is at 400 kilos max takeoff weight. This thing can take a lot of G loading. If you have a look over here, it can go up to 8 G's positive and -3 negative. That is amazing for a small airplane like this. Right, let's use our time while we have it. Delta Papa Sierra, approaching Sierra, request to leave.
Delta Papa Sierra, leave the frequency is approved. Last flight, bye bye.
Leaving frequency approved, Delta Papa Sierra, thanks, bye. Alright, so we're done with him. Let's see if we can catch somebody on the Cologne approach for our next entry.
Next 62 Echo, Düsseldorf Tower, good evening, wind 010 degrees 3 knots.
Langradar, hello, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra.
Delta Papa Sierra Lang, hello.
Delta Papa Sierra, BD-5, one person from Essen-Mülheim to Essen-Mülheim, request across the control zone via the Kilo routing and the Sierra routing, and thereafter via the Drachenfelds back towards the Novembers.
Delta Papa Sierra, Roger, QNH 1019, active runway 3 to right, enter control zone via Kilo routing, leave via Sierra routing.
Delta Papa Sierra 1019 with the runways 23 right, enter via Kilo, exit via Sierra. Okay, that's basically a clearance all the way, that's making it easy. We've got a highway down here on our right hand side, and then we are basically going down via that highway like this, through the control zone. Up front there we can already see the big church of Cologne, the Kölner Dome. Gotta keep our airplane straight over here. Starts getting a little bit more challenging to see something outside with all those reflections in the back, but we'll get there eventually. There's our highway. A little hard to see really. Ah, right over there. That's the intersection between the two highways. See that one? That's what we're aiming for. Alright. Delta Papa Sierra, Kilo 1, 2000, correction 1800.
Langradar.
Alright, now we're heading towards the southern bridge. That's the bridge right at the end of the city. So basically this routing is taking us right over the city now. So we're just about in the time right now where it starts getting really dark, but they don't have the lights on yet. So that's not making it very easy, I have to say, in terms of the navigation. But that's the challenge, isn't it? Also, we have to keep an eye on our fuel state. That's the one we have down here. We started with 3/4, because otherwise we would have been above the maximum takeoff weight. But we have used quite a bit already.
Wings Liner 6 for request taxi able Alpha 2.
Alright, let's have a look at our scenery downstairs. Something I really love about this one. You can just turn it upside down, and here we go. That's beautiful, isn't it? Cologne City. And right back up.
Wings Liner 6 for request taxi able Alpha 2. Station calling, say again. Wings Liner 6 for request taxi able Alpha 2. Wings Liner 6 for taxi to point runway 3 to right via Mike Bravo Alpha 2 cross runway 2
Almost there, we've got to cross to one more bridge.
By Mike Bravo Alpha 2 cross runway 24, here Wings Liner 62.
There's the airport off to the left over there. So, now we're at Kilo 2. Papa Sierra, Kilo 2, 2000.
Lang radar.
So, I've got to turn back like this. By the way, in case some of you are wondering, when the controller says long radar, he's just acknowledging. In real life, they probably just hit the push to talk button 2 times, so that it would just make pick, pick, and that's all you gotta know. Alright, now we start getting into the beautiful scenes here. That's what we want our simulator to look like, isn't it? In my opinion, Twilight is where the simulator really shines. When you still see a little bit of the terrain, just enough to navigate with it, but then you have the lights coming on slowly. We can start to see how our airplane starts to get a little bit heavy on the right hand side because we are using all that fuel from the left. So put the pump on, switch to the right tank, engine keeps running, fuel pump off. Right, that's Cologne Airport. Delta Papa Sierra, Sierra 2, 2200. So
Lang radar.
making that right turn. And yes guys, I did watch a little bit too much Top Gun. So here we go. A little bit more to the left. No, actually this is good. Going just across those 2 small lakes we can see over here. And then in front there is a small harbor for some small boats. That's our Sierra 1 intersection. This is the hard one that we actually have to hit quite precisely, because we can see there's Class Charlie airspace over here, just up to the north, and then there is Bonn airfield just up to the south. So we really want to go in between the two, making this a bit more challenging. But you can see the harbor on the right hand side there. It's very well lit. So that's where we want to go over. Delta Papa Sierra, Sierra 1, 2000 feet, request a remain on frequency for traffic information.
Delta Sierra ausnahmsweise dazu bleiben.
Exceptionally I can stay, is what he just said. Right, now we're going over at Bonn, the former West German capital, before the 2 parts of Germany have been reunited. Now of course the capital is Berlin. And then we're going straight ahead to find the Drachenfelds. That is basically the checkpoint I've marked down here on the chart. Now let me remove that chart from your view so that you can actually enjoy what we're seeing up here. The area we're approaching right now is really lovely looking. Let me show you that once again. Turn the plane upside down. Remove that windshield protection for a second. I probably can't, but you get the idea. Here we go. This is going to be a really nice area. Never been there in real life, unfortunately. I'm not too familiar with Bonn. But here we are. That's what it's looking like. Alright then. That mountain you can see on your left hand side here. The one that's slightly up front, this one. It has two castles on it. One of them is a museum nowadays, which I can really recommend you to visit. The other one is a ruin that's right on top of the mountain, and that's the Drachenfelds, or Dragon's Rock. We're gonna get there in a moment. It's a really beautiful place to be. You can go up with a small railway from down here, from those buildings with the blue roofs. Then the railway drives all the way up here. And that over here is where the ruins are.
Radio check, 2 check, 1-4.
Two
We'll go around
4
this.
long radar, BD-5.
Thank you, digit 1-4.
Here we are. That's a really beautiful place. And the restaurant there is quite good as well. So now we've just got to see and avoid the cumulus granitus over here. We'll take one further to the left. This is where we want to go. Well, now we've got to make sure not to cross into the Sierra.
62, wind 0,
sorry, not
70 degrees,
just
4
into
knots,
Bonn
runway
Hangar
32 right,
airfield.
cleared for takeoff.
We'll stay down low.
Let's
Let's see if we can get a little approach on runway 06 in Cologne while we're crossing the control zone. Delta Papa Sierra heading back towards Sierra 1. Is there any chance for low approach on runway 06?
Delta Papa Sierra, roger, enter control zone via Sierra, routing and join direct final 06.
Delta Papa Sierra entering control zone by the Sierra routing and join direct final runway 06. That's perfect. So we gotta get a little
Hello,
from as
Condor
well.
8 Lima Tango, passing 220. It's okay if I contact you, because you're protecting me and I'm approaching Düsseldorf.
But you're crossing my airspace, so yeah, it's correct. Condor 8 Lima Tango identified, proceed direct Big Mo, descend to reach
It's funny,
level 130
the
at
arrivals
Big
for
Mo.
Düsseldorf are actually crossing the Cologne
Okay, direct Big Mo and descend to reach
control
130 Big
zone.
Mo, Condor 8 Lima Tango.
And many pilots here on VATSIM, they just know that they're going to Düsseldorf and they're being handed off to Cologne approach, so they think the controllers are doing a mistake. And then, just like now, ask like, is it okay to contact you? But in fact you're just crossing the airspace. But to understand why that's happening, you actually have to understand how the airspace on VATSIM is set up. So basically in real life, at least here in Germany, not sure if it's the same in other countries, you don't have like a Düsseldorf approach or a Cologne approach. You only have different lower sectors, some of which have airports in them, some of which don't. So basically, the Cologne approach is also responsible for other airports like Nürnberg, the military base for example. Just like Düsseldorf is also responsible for Niederrhein, or better known as Düsseldorf-Beze. Delta Papa Sierra, Sierra 1, 1400. And off we go.
Wings
Yeehaw.
8, 962 identified, climb
I've definitely watched too much
140.
Top Gun, you know that?
Standard 140, your wings 962.
Right, heading towards the fields, towards that small industrial area that you can see in the forest just over there. That's basically where Sierra 2 is located. Just to the left of it. Gotta leave these lakes over here on our left, so let's make sure we are not going too close to them. Alright, here we are. Now, here's already a
And Delta Sierra, confirm you want to leave via Kilo routing again after touch and go? For lower port?
Delta Papa Sierra, either by Kilo, we can also go along the highway towards Leverkusen to leave directly via the highway.
Delta Papa Sierra, roger, cleared as requested.
Cleared as requested via the highway towards Leverkusen, Delta Papa Sierra. Okay, that's making it easier. And he has cleared us into the final, but we're not cleared for the low approach quite yet. Delta Papa Sierra, joining final 06.
Delta Papa Sierra, roger, wind 07 degrees, for
not
knots,
exceed the
runway
maximum
06,
speed.
cleared for low approach.
Runway 06, cleared low approach, Delta Papa Sierra.
Steering snare, 62,
And
proceed
here we
direct
go.
King
Direct King
Let's see if we can do this one upside down. Here we go. No, it's really hard not to lose too much altitude. But let's see how close we can get this without killing ourselves. You guys heard me say that too often.
80 Tango, contact Langenräder 12855,
German
bye
first officer, I know.
Lang
Alright, I gotta shut up.
12855, Tango, tschüss.
Sorry. And here we go. Off to the left.
Steering 6, correction Yoke 962, climb flight level 240.
Climb flight level 240, your wings 962.
Alright. It's really getting dark rapidly right now. Delta Papa Sierra request?
Go.
Delta Papa Sierra, can you set up a flight plan for a night VFR flight back towards Smulin?
Yes, sure.
Delta Papa Sierra, roger. Request to proceed via Düsseldorf Echo towards November and then direct to Smulin, altitude 2,000 feet.
Just give me a second to copy that down.
Roger. If we want to fly VFR at night, we actually got to set up a
Can
flight
you
plan
give
for
me the routing again, please?
Delta Papa Sierra, it's via Düsseldorf Echo towards Düsseldorf November and then direct Smulin.
Roger, copy down, flight plan should be up.
Perfect, thanks. So Delta Papa Sierra request pick up at night VFR.
Roger, cleared night VFR to Düsseldorf via assigned routing.
Delta Papa Sierra, cleared night VFR via flight plan routing, confirmed to Smulin as final destination. Alright, so let's bring the sectional chart up again, because now we start getting back into the interesting part of navigation. Basically, we've got to find the right highway to follow over here. So, there are quite a couple now, and we've just got to find the right one here. What we're looking for is the A3. That should be just somewhere right in front of us. I think I can see it. I think it's probably this one that we have right in front of us right now. There will be a couple of lakes to our left. Those are not quite as easy to find on the sectional chart. But there are two highways running almost parallel to one another, and we've got to follow the rightmost one of them. Otherwise we're getting too close to the river. So I guess it's got to be the one that we have straight ahead of us. And of course, while I said that, I climbed right into the Charlie airspace. Let's go back to an altitude of 2,000 feet here. Alright, now we can see better. To the left hand side there we have
inbound from the west, flight level 23.
that. To the left there we have that one highway, and then straight ahead is the other one. Straight ahead is the A3. That's what we're going over.
Direct, big move, second level.
130 to reach Big Move.
Roger, flight level 130.
You can see our fuel gauge there. We used up like almost half of the fuel already that we've had on board for this flight. So the BD-5 is not an airplane that can go for very long, but it's one that goes at a fairly high speed, making VFR navigation really interesting just with the chart, because things are happening really, really fast when you're flying this one. Anyway, I think we're on the right track now. And that we've caught the right highway as well. So let's just go straight then. And eventually the Cologne radar controller here is going to hand us over back towards
Delta Papa
Düsseldorf.
Sierra, contact Langen Radar 12855. That's done.
12855, Delta Papa Sierra, see ya. Alright, he wants to
Wing
contact Düsseldorf
62
approach first.
passing level 240, contact Euro Maastricht
Okay,
13575.
12855.
Condor 8 Lima Tango, descent via transition, altitude 5000 feet, QNH 1019.
Descent via transition 5000 feet, QNH
So, we're going to be over at
1019.
Leverkusen right now. On radar low, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, VF9 towards Düsseldorf Echo.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, Langen Radar, good evening, squawk 2245.
Squawk 2245, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra. Alright, so goes at 2255. And that's it. Right, we'll keep going towards the north over here. Could this be Echo already? I think this already is Echo.
396 Langen Radar.
406, Quebec 39 nach VfR von Berlin zu Ihrem Platz zurzeit, Kontrollzone Dortmund verlassen.
But theoretically they should be handing us over to the controller.
Fuß sinken auf
Yeah, I'm fairly certain this is Echo already.
November, bitte FIS weiter.
Alright, then let's just go
396, Radar contact.
for an orbit here, so that we don't accidentally enter
396, kein
airspace.
gemeldeter Verkehr.
406, Dankeschön.
Delta Papa Sierra, confirm your orbit, Echo already.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, squawk 2245.
2245, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra. That was not my question.
Pass area 141, turn right heading 200, descent altitude 3000 feet, cleared left approach, runway 23 left.
And let's just keep doing another orbit or so. Eventually you'll probably just say, oh, you're identified from the tower. I guess that's what's about to come.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, radar contact.
Delta Papa Sierra, roger, and we request crossing the Düsseldorf control zone from Echo towards November. I guess we can already contact tower.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, a firm contact Düsseldorf Tower 118.3. Bye bye.
118.3, talk to you later, Delta Papa Sierra. Alright, so
Lufthansa 917, when can we expect higher?
that was like a short stay.
Correction, Lufthansa 987, contact Langen Radar 135.
Düsseldorf Tower, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra. Is he talking to us? Düsseldorf Tower, hello, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra.
Stand by, coordination in progress.
Stand by, okay. So, Echo is just between
Mike
the two lakes
Oscar,
over
Papa
there.
Sierra Tower.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra is more or less over at Echo already for crossing towards November via night, 2,200 feet.
Delta Mike Oscar, Papa Sierra, roger, active 23 left, 23 right, QNH 1019, record Echo.
QNH 1019, local Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra. Okay.
Tyler, Eurings on a 7836 miles our left, 23 right.
783, good evening, wind
We've been there already,
020
we've done
degrees,
that already.
22 right, clear them.
23 right, clear to land, Eurings on a 783.
So then, Echo is pretty much over here where the highways are crossing. So we're almost there already. see the intersection of the highways just over there? That's what we're aiming for. Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, over at Echo 2000.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, roger. Follow the... Correction, enter control zone along the Autobahn A3, and I will call you back.
Entering along the A3, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra.
Ryanair 7887, cross 23 left, continue via Tango 1, Whiskey, Lima 7, position Victor 8.
Right, so we are basically following the A3. That's the one with the more or less bright lights right ahead of us.
Continue Tango 1, Whiskey,
So it probably wants to make
Lima
us cross
7,
like this
position
then.
Victor 85.
Tango 1.
Right over here.
Lima
That would basically
7,
bring us
Whiskey,
even a little bit
Victor
closer
81.
towards Smulin than if we went via the November routing.
It's intact.
Takeoff Turm, Friesen 06, schönen guten Abend.
Friesen 06, guten Abend, standby. Delta Papa Sierra, report aircraft start.
Delta Papa Sierra, we're at BD-5.
Danke.
Okay. To the left there's the airfield. Let's see, is there any approaching? Yeah, there's one guy we see over there.
Lost Tower,
See the
Lufthansa
right-
66, guten Abend,
the red
on
light
der
of him.
left to left, 15
Of course, we're going to see an avoid, so we actually have to avoid him.
Decimal 66, hello, wind check 020 degrees, 3 knots, number 2.
Number 2,
And he's more or less steady in our windshield. If somebody is steady in your windshield, that means that you're on a collision
Information
course.
at Transavia, Boeing 737-700, 12 o'clock in about 4 miles, final 2-3 left.
Delta Papa Sierra confirmed that's the one in about 1 o'clock. We would have that one inside.
Yeah, it's 12 to 1 o'clock, AFM.
Yeah, traffic inside.
Delta Papa Sierra, roger,
Okay,
behind
let's go to the right.
traffic number 2, cross the arrival sector of 2-3 left, and thereafter leave along the A3.
Delta Papa Sierra, we're crossing the arrival sector behind the mentioned traffic, and then we'll leave via the A3. Okay, he's over here. Let's be sure that we're staying clear.
Good evening, Transavia 141, we're on the ILS, so we have a caution on the TCAS.
Transavia
Yeah,
141, yep,
caution
you
is
came coming in a bit late, traffic information, a VFR traffic is crossing the sector behind. He has
Right, there he is. We're above him, so wake turbulence is not an issue. Of course, with a light aircraft like ours, wake turbulence can very well be quite a problem. But first of all, our maneuvering speed in this one is at 70 knots, and we are flying like 60 knots faster than that. So if we actually enter some serious turbulence at this speed, it will probably just rip the wings off. But, well, you just can't have it all.
Friesen 06, TWM 39 nach VfR von Berlin zu
Right.
zurzeit ja kreisend vor.
Then on the left hand side here is the Sechseenplatte, like the 6 legs plate,
mit
if you want to count this up.
Friesen 06 verstanden.
And right over here we have like a racing track for canoes, for the small boats. That's the straight one over here next to the railway line.
Delta Papa Sierra, contact radar 12855, cheers.
12855, Delta Papa Sierra, thanks, cheers. Long radar low, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, long radar. Hello.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra has left the Düsseldorf CTR towards the north along the A3 and we'll turn to the right towards Smulin now. Alright, so
Delta Mike Oscar Papa
we'll
Sierra,
take the right
roger,
and
copy.
turn over here.
Papa short.
But make sure to stay north. Oh, there is somebody coming up here. See and avoid. That's how we do it. Hello there.
Condor 1258, you're a little bit high. Do you need a delay vector?
Right, so don't think we'll need the section anymore. We'll find a way from here.
Right, heading 320.
Turn right.
Let's go off to the right hand side here. We'll follow that river towards the east, and then eventually we'll just have to make that southbound
Delta
turn.
Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, no reported traffic.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, roger. So now we've just got to follow this river over here. Ooh, this is actually looking nice. Okay, let's not get above the red line.
Contour 8 Lima Tango, contact Düsseldorf Tower 118.3, bye.
This is the central, like one of the busiest shopping centers that we have over here. Even the dotches, our neighbors, know that one. Alright, then from here we've just got to make really sure that we're not accidentally entering the control zone of Düsseldorf again, so that's why I'm keeping a little bit conservative here for our turn inbound to Smulin, but here it is on our right hand side. Delta Papa Sierra approaching Smulin, landing is assured, request to leave.
Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, roger, approved to leave, bye bye.
Approved to leave, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, bye bye. Right, so now not above 1500 once again.
This is 6-4, main train present heading.
Train present heading is 6-4.
And Swiss 6-4.
Oh boy, I really need the second hand over here. Flying this. So, where's the airfield? Just in front over there. Very good. Smulin traffic, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra. And we'll enter the traffic pattern for a downwind runway 24, full stop landing in about 1 minute. Okay, that call was of course not even close to the official regulation, but you know. Alright, so fuel pump on. Let's bleed off our speed. We've got this water tower up here, the green one, at the edge of the field. That marks the downwind. And here we go. Alright, so gear down, flaps 15. Smulin, Delta Mike Oscar Papa Sierra, right downwind, runway 24, full stop landing. Then our base is marked by that forest over there. You can see how the forest is interrupting the city. That's basically our base. Approach speed is 85 knots in the BD-5, so let's start losing that speed. We'll go flap full. And then there is a specialty over here in the traffic pattern, in that we are not allowed to overfly the highway that we see over here. So we basically get like a 45-degree angled base turn. I can see the runway off to the right over there. Of course we don't have a landing light, so it's going to be interesting judging a height on short final here. Does anybody of you guys have a flashlight maybe? That makes it a bit easier to see ahead? I mean, this thing's been flown by James Bond, so there's got to be something to see ahead. Can't imagine that James Bond doesn't have any tricks in his airplanes. Alright, and here we are. Alright, still bright enough we can see outside. That's all we need. Right, thrust off. Go down. Keep the speed and flare. So this thing really flares to hell, so it's good that we have 1,500 meters initial runway over here. See, it's flaring, 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 flaring. And here we are.
Easy now, Captain.
Well, thank you. We just get a lot of drill. Also, keep the glide like it is right now. Alright, that's it. Welcome back to Smulin. Great little fun aircraft to fly. And if I'm totally honest with you, I tried to record this one a little bit earlier already. Yesterday with my old headset when the voice left up on me. And I did that during bright afternoon daylight. So that was really, you know, it was really easy to navigate this. But doing it at this time of the day and then going back the VFR night, that's a whole different level of fun, isn't it? There's another one coming up right over here. That is probably one of the Düsseldorf arrivals. Looking at how sporty he flies, it's probably one of those interesting Düsseldorf arrivals. Let's see real quick if I can get rid of the light. If I turn this off, it only puts on the flashlight. Here we go. Turn the flashlight off. That's the fun it is. And seeing how bright that flashlight is, just look at this. Nope, I am rather happy I did not use it to illuminate the runway on landing. Alright, here we are again. So we'll take it in between the two aircraft. I'm going to park to the right of the Mooney. So, here we go. Okay, that's clear on the right and on the left. It's really interesting to see how short those wings are, isn't it? Like getting that performance out of the aircraft. Alright, and here we are. Fuel pump off, flaps up, trim neutral, avionics off. Nav lights off. Alright. And fuel off. Ignition off. We'll just wait for the engine to run down before we can turn our strobes off. Oh, the canopy here already. Right, that engine's basically off. Strobes off, master off. That's it. So, thank you everyone. Hope you enjoyed this one just as much as I did. It surely is fun to go back to the basics here, every now and then, and just navigate using the paper chart. Now, of course it's fun doing that in Cessna 150, but when you're going 230, 240 knots-ish, it is a little bit greater fun even. So, thank you very much for joining everyone. This is the kind of exercise that sometimes, first of all, just keeps your skills up, and then, of course, really makes for a nice ending of the evening. So, thank you very much for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. And it did get a bit longer than I initially planned to, I have to say. But nonetheless, have a nice evening, and As always, if you like my videos, I'd be very happy for a comment. What you liked, what you disliked, why I should stop flying and give back my license, of course, and of anything else that you enjoyed. Thank you very much, and see you again soon.